that is facing
Welcome
leaders.
back. Now, this is a very interesting. I had promised you earlier that we'll be having a discussion on the launch with our guest, Dr. Rijuma. He's right here with us in studio, the CEO GPP, and we're going to have a very interesting discussion. Before, we had students here, and they really were happy to be part of the ICE program, which helps them improve their communication skills, improve their entrepreneurial skills, improve their interpersonal skills, and how they can position themselves in the market and be good business people in the market. That was on the launch with the guests who are beneficiaries. Now, at the moment, we are having Dr. Rijuma, who is with us in studio this morning. Dr. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sylvia.
Now, from your experience interacting with youths across the country, how has GPP evolved, or how has GPP stood out, excluding others who are in the market trying to lure youths into the organizations? How has GPP stood out?
Well, first of all, thank you for the opportunity. And for us to appreciate, GPP is actually Global Partners in Purpose Network, which is actually a consultancy firm. And therefore, we are committed and dedicated in aspects that deal with collaboration and strategic partnership. We build synergies that will bring development and growth. And we are passionate about the young people stepping into their spaces, and more so the global space where GPP operates. So as you've just asked, we have positioned ourselves in the aspect of understanding the exact needs of the youth. And that's why when I was just listening the young people that were here who have been beneficiaries of ICE, I remember, and I want to salute Dr. Crystal from the US, who came and visited Kenya. And one thing I want to say is that it's one thing to visit a place. It's another thing to have the eyes that can see challenges of a place. And beyond that, also able to identify solutions that can meet those challenges. And Dr. Crystal, who is a founder of Live Innovation Global, of course, where ICE is housed, together with other collaborative networks that she works with. When she visited here, and I was the one who had hosted her, we visited several universities, basically, and met several young people, talked to young people in different places, in universities, colleges, churches, and even in the market space. And we were able to see the gap. And Dr. Crystal was quick to identify, ask me, how about this kind of issues? And I think that's when ICE was recommended to be an avenue that is going to empower these young people with a different mindset that can bring out solutions. That's what I can possibly just say in my introductory remarks.
The students who were here before, they were really, especially Dan, it was really hard on finding a problem and looking for solutions to that problem. I think that is a very good flow from the mentor, Dr. Christine.
Sure.
Now, I understand that most of these organizations that come up are targeting women, targeting youths, targeting the vulnerable in the society. Most of them are always driven by profits of engaging in the initiative. So how is it like for ICE, for GPP? How is it like? What pushes you towards wanting to help the youths in the society?
Honestly, from a strategic point of view, GPP together with the partners, including Kenyatta University, which is the key shareholder in this great vision, because were it that Kenyatta University wasn't open to such a kind of human capital development initiatives, I don't think we could be talking about it. Now, just as you have said, most entities look for profit. And that's where they go wrong. Allow me to say that. Or that's where we go wrong. You know, when you look at the SDGs, you know, the SDG goals, they were addressing a particular root issue, not symptoms like the MDGs. Because the MDGs, the Millennial Development Goals, were simply more of addressing the symptoms that the global environment is facing. But the SDG came and identified the root aspects. And that's where you realize that SDG is pro-youth, pro-women, pro-inequality when you look at them. And that's where now we come. What makes GPP and other partners stand out different? We are not looking for profit. We are looking for empowerment. And where does empowerment begin? Empowerment begins with the individual. These young people have potential, and the potential must be identified and maximized by being given leverage. When you look at a program like ICE, it is given as a scholarship. Why? Because most of our young people may even want to get these skills, but they do not have the money or the fee that could make them access this knowledge or skill. So what happens? They end up missing the opportunity. I've always said, you know, poverty is not necessarily lack of money. It's lack of options. So ICE and other human capital initiatives that are taking place in Kenyatta University are giving these young people options in life beyond the stream and discipline that you have taken. You realize that you are accessing knowledge and skills that are not possibly within your very environment. But then they are going to give you leverage outside, especially for us who are in the market space. So the driving motive for our partners is not specifically the
Income.
profit, though profit is necessary at the end of it. It should be the outcome of what the capacity and ability has been invested in this particular person. So we're looking at skill development. What talent is this young person having? Can it be managed and be monetized so that the person is in control? You know, young people have been used as statistics. Sorry to say this. Young people in most countries, especially Africa, have been used as statistics. Eventually, after successfully procuring some funding for the youth projects, as you have just rightly said, these entities ends up corrupting the entire system. And the very people who were used as statistics ends up to be victimized. And that's why you realize that at this particular point, the partners collaborating here with Kenyatta University are keen to give the young people options and not just use them as statistics to amplify the problem that is chewing them up. No. How can we help them solve their problem? No government can really give jobs to everybody. That is clear. No government in the world has succeeded in that.
Interesting. Now, as you've mentioned, that no government can give anyone job opportunity, and the role of these initiatives in helping the youths. There is a need, there's clearly a need for upscaling.
Sure.
So what are the biggest challenges that the initiatives are facing when it comes to upscaling to reach wider audiences, reach more youths, and help them monetize their skills, help them get their feet into the market?
Well, if I may be particular to the youth, the youth face certain challenges that are just youth. For instance, today, Sylvia, when you come out of this particular place in your profession, you may apply jobs in a particular company or in a particular place. But then the requirement for you to be eligible disqualifies you even in the beginning. That's already a challenge the young people are facing, that they do not have the experience. And therefore, because of inadequate or insufficient experience and expertise in whichever aspect, it turns out to be a challenge. But you can see the programs that we are bringing here in this collaboration are giving these young people a platform for mentorship so that they can actually be able to have experience that will convince the market space that already the person that is applying for this is already experienced, has a particular skill, and can be given this particular job. So that's one of the challenges the young people specifically face.
What about the organization in terms of upscaling?
Now, when it comes to organization, obviously there are a number of challenges that goes to the legal framework, the governance of some of these particular institutions that are into managing the young people, because some of them, their systems and the bureaucracy may not allow as the outsourcing, in a globalized environment like the one we are in. You need not just a legal framework, but an environment that can allow the exchange of knowledge. And most of the institutions, I think, have, administrative challenges. Well, we thank God for Kenyatta University. I salute the administration for being so open to internationalization aspect, whereby if it were not so open, you could not get such a programs that are coming in. 7, initiatives on human capital development allowed to benefit the students. That's a huge benefit to the students. Yeah.
Very, very interesting. Now, our time is really not on our side. Muda wetu umeisha. I'll give you a minute to give us a closing remark and what advice you'd give to the youths in the country.
All right. Well, I appreciate you for that conversation, and it was insightful. For the young people, I just want to say one word, because the potential you have is amazing. Opportunities are available everywhere. Partners who are willing to work with you, help you, mentor you, are all over around us. And of course, here in Kenyatta University, you will get all kinds of partners that can work alongside with you. So my challenge to you is that step up. Don't be a victim of any situation, including your background or your financial status. You can lead when you show up. So mine is show up, step into the opportunities that are made available. Don't feel marginalized. Don't feel that your opinion, your strength, and your level of education doesn't matter or count. It matters. Just plug into the opportunities that are globally available. And here at GPP, and of course in Kenyatta University, specifically the Global Tourism Resilience Department is an amazing place where we can always get all this information of the global partners that are really partnering. And I just want to conclude by sharing. This is a book, the 51 Powerful Ps for public speaking. If you have a business, you're working in any given particular company, you have a brand, listen to me. Dr. Crystal has written this particular book. It's one of the books that actually is used by the eyes, and it is an amazing, amazing book that I would recommend. I know it is in Amazon, but I recommend that every one of us can share into it. Otherwise, thank you, Sylvia.
Thank you so much for making time for us this morning.
Yep.
Now, our viewer back at home, I told you this was going to be insightful, and as you have seen, it is very important for you to set your pace and join these initiatives. There are 7 of them at Kenyatta universities, and you need to choose one of them to be part of it. The one that suits you, the one that aligns with your career. You can always visit our pages, that is Kenyatta University, and you will find all this information there. And before we take a short break, let me take a quick look at the feedback on social media. Adelaide Momanyi says, congratulations team. Elishiba Brown says, good job. We are watching from Nairobi, Kenya. And also Eunice Washuka says, congratulations, Dan and Jackie. That is the guests that were in studio before Dr. you came in. Now, that is it on the launch this morning. Coming up next is a newspaper review, and I hope you stay with us until that time. Let's get on the break.